What's up? It's K.Honesty, and I'm about to review SWV and Escape, the Queens of R&B, Season 1, Episode 6, the finale. This is the finale, so this is my last time recapping, reviewing this show. It's been a funny, fun ride. But yeah, we about to get into it. So if you haven't seen the finale of SWV and Escape, the Queens of R&B, turn this video off right now. Go watch the finale, come back and watch this video. Anything I say is my opinions, my expressions. It does not reflect anyone or anything associated with the show. These are my thoughts and expressions, how I feel, this, that, and the third. I am not a public speaker, so I will tend to stutter, pause. I will say hella uhs while I talk. And I'll be looking at my notes over here. Make sure I'm on point with what I'm talking about. And you know I got my water bottle because I got to stay hydrated. And excuse my attire. I just got in the house. I've been out all weekend. All right, so let's get it. Last chance, if you haven't seen the finale of SWV and Escape, the Queens of R&B, turn this video off right now because I'm about to spoil the entire finale. And I like to grade. I like to grade the episodes before and after my reviews. And I'm going to grade this episode an A+ just because camaraderie. They came together, they did what they had to do, and everything, everything kind of went okay. But we're going to get into it anyway. So the first scene is a conclusion to last episode. The group tells Tasha that Rocky been getting kickbacks off of them, this, that, and the third. Tasha calls Rocky. So it starts off with Tasha calling Rocky. First thing Rocky say is, because Tasha tell him what happened, what's going on in the situation she's in right now. The first thing Tasha says to Rocky is, the first thing Rocky says to Tasha is, man, what did he say? Don't say nothing on my behalf. And I was like, damn. Dang, weed flew all in my mouth. I had to get that off my side. It just wasn't going to hit. It was going to hit, but that was going to annoy me the whole time if that little piece of weed sat on my tongue the whole time. But anyway. So I'm like, dang, you come at your wife like that? Like, y'all supposed to be a team. You telling her not to speak on your behalf. Like, that's what spouses do. When it's one spouse not there, you're supposed to speak on their behalf. And she defended you the whole time. But he was like, the way he said in defense, like he thought Tasha was like agreeing with them. Like, come on. She trying to call to clear the stuff up. Trying to like clear your name, trying to help you out. So as he's saying this, like, don't say stuff on my behalf. Tamika hit her, she like, see, that's exactly, tells Tasha, this is exactly why you in the situation you in now. Look at the way he talks to you, basically. Tasha like, really, Tamika, really? This is why I'm in the situation I'm in? What situation am I in? So, of course, Rocky, he's denying the accusations, saying this, that, and the third. Talking about if him and the promoter got the same number. He was like, him and the promoter got the same number, and his text messages don't got nothing to do with Escape and this, that, and the third. Talking about he didn't steal any money. So it sounded suspicious because the first thing he said on the phone was, don't speak on my behalf. So it's just like, what? So Tasha's still defending him. He like, listen, don't speak don't speak for me. And Tasha's like, I hear you. Go ahead. I hear you, husband. Go ahead, speak. We'll talk. Just let him walk all over, it seemed like. Now I'm seeing it. Like, this episode made me see Rocky even more worse. Like, them confessional scenes, we gonna get into it. Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, Tasha's still steady defending him. Meanwhile, he telling Tasha not to speak for him. Like, what? You should be lucky your wife right here trying to defend you. Because if she was right here not saying nothing, it would look even more suspicious. And it would look like she's involved when she's trying to, and she also trying to prove her, like, these text messages has her name involved too, saying that he went to her, this, that, and the third, and told her what it was, and she can get the group members together. So this involves her too. So for you to say not to speak on your behalf, like, this involves her too. You can't tell her not to speak on something that has something to do with her. And y'all married, so it's like spousal stuff. It has to happen. Like, it's two people. So then we get this confessional scene, and these confessional scenes with Tasha and her husband, super awkward looking. Like Tasha just sitting like a statue. Rocky talking about some, what do you say? Kickbacks of people who have to hustle. He talking about he not no hustler. Because he the one that make all the deals, this, that, and the third. It's the thing, this day is just not hitting, or I'm not lighting it long enough. I'm gonna leave the motherfucker light on this bitch while I talk. Shit. Oh yeah, I don't know if I mentioned this, but I don't have enough subscribers or people that watch my videos and stuff to get banned for cursing. So for right now, I'm gonna be cursing up a storm until my subscribers and views and shit get up to like the thousands. That's when I start getting like flagged for cursing and shit. But until then, it's gonna be me cursing. But yeah. So he said that it's for kickbacks for people that gotta hustle. He don't need to do that because he don't want to make the deals. Then Tasha chimes in talking about something. And yeah, and let me chime in. Like, why do you gotta announce that you gotta chime in? You want to speak over your husband? Speak over your husband. That's weird. She was like, yeah, let me chime in. She was like, and for the record, anybody that's outside of the group, if they bring a deal to the table, they get a percentage. So I don't even see what the problem is. And it was just like, girl, kickbacks and getting a percentage for something brought to the table is kind of different. So Rocky get there. If I was paid, if I got some money, and I mean I got the money for doing something that I was paid to do, and he was like, that's not stealing, and this, that, and the third, like this whole bunch of excuses, you know. And at this point, I don't even believe him. I don't know that man from a can of paint, but the way he being portrayed and the way he acting, I don't believe him. And I was still giving, what's his name, Rocky some grace until the scene later on, right before the show started. I'm gonna talk about it later. But I was still giving him grace until this episode when something happened. And I was like, nah, I'm done with Rocky. So Rocky continues to say, he's still on the phone with Tasha in front of the group. He on the phone, if I'm taking their money and I ain't did shit for them, this, that, and the third, then do what you gotta do. And Tasha, she on the phone, you know, Rock, I ain't worried about that. I'm not even worried. Da 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 da. They hang up somehow. You know, I'm good, Rocky. Basically saying like she good on this situation. She don't believe him. It's BS, all that stuff. So they hang up. Candy get the, look, I know that's your man and you got to ride for him and all that, but sometimes we got to acknowledge when stuff is wrong. We have to. Tasha, you know how Tasha is. She like, look, I'm over it. She gets up. She storms out. Oh no, right before Tasha gets up and storms out, Tiny was like, we just need to get through this Cali show. I'm like, Tiny, not now. We got bigger fish to fry than some Cali show. Shoot, you got somebody's husband stealing money from the group. That's crazy. So as Tasha's leaving, she calling her mother talking about they worried about money, this, that, my family in shambles and all that. And I'm like, girl, who problem is that? And what does that have to do with this money situation? That'd be your problem. She don't know how to separate business from personal. That's Tasha's problem to me. Like, that's her real problem. Because every time I see her get into a conversation with somebody, it gets to talking about like personal. Like if she get into a conversation with somebody about personal, she'll bring the business into it. If she get into it with somebody about business, she'll bring the personal into it. That's what I've been seeing this whole season with Tasha. And she trying to say it's other people or it's the people that she's arguing with at that time. No, it's you. It's you. So then we got these quick little scenes, hyping it up for the show. Tamika, she on the phone telling her daughter about the show. Saying, it's going to be awkward with Rocky being there. But I'm just going to do what I got to do. Daughter tell her, like, yeah, just keep it positive and do you. Don't even worry about him. Jalen and Coco. Jalen asks Coco, she excited. She's like, yeah, I'm excited. And Jalen like, don't put your hands on nobody. And she's like, yeah, because, I like my TSA pre-check. And, Coco just so extra. I want to like Coco, but she coming off as like super like I'm that bitch. She coming off that way, and especially this episode, she kind of came off that way. I don't know. Taj on Skype with her son, he's telling him she wish he could be there. It's like, I love coming off the stage and running into you guys' arms, you and my husband's arms, whatever. He was like, you a superstar, Mom. She's like, I am a superstar, right? I'm a superstar. I was like, that's right. Hype your mom. Oh, she called her. He called her a rock star. Superstar, rock star, whatever, same thing. We got Zonique and Kat and Tiny packing. Zonique like, you gonna wear those shorts? Tiny like, yeah, I might walk around the room in them. Tiny telling Zonique that the group somewhat came to an agreement. Then we see this unreleased scene where SWV basically like this, look, to get the show moving, to get the show moving, we tired of the fighting going back and forth. We just gonna let y'all have the final song. We're gonna let Escape end with understanding. So they give the final song to Escape. SWV gives the final song to Escape. And I was like, God, that's so mature of them. You see how they could just get through stuff? Like, they might be good about it, but cause they know Week's still gonna be lit. Litter than the understanding. It is what it is. Then they go back to the prep scenes for the show. Candy, she packing. Todd bring the suitcase out there. Candy like, I feel like I always live in a suitcase. That's right, girl. Girl be on the move. Make that money. That's what I respect about Candy. She always in her bag. She said, I feel like I stay in the suitcase. I know that's right. So then, everyone's on their way to rehearsal. Tasha in the car with Rocky. Telling me, I appreciate you so much because I just can't stand to be around the drama. I'm like, look, he's the bringing the drama to you. Like, he's the reason why you have so much drama. Not the people around you, he is. As long as he around, you still gonna have this drama that you complaining that you don't want to be around. She get to talking about how Tasha loves to make accusations, this and the third. Then they showed a little clip of Tasha says that Tamika loved to make accusations and stuff, and they showed a clip of Tamika on the radio show. Well, they show the recording of Tamika at the radio show talking about Candy sleep with this, that, and the third, was sleeping with Jermaine and all that stuff. And I'm just like, I could be wrong, but wasn't that something that Tasha put in Tamika's ear to say? I believe. I think I heard that somewhere. So it's like for you to even throw that out there as a example was stupid. Because I think you was behind it. I don't know. I could be wrong. Rocky get to just keep walking and let the liars keep running. And you stand in your truth. Grab your mic and do your thing and all. I'm like, get this little corny ass out of here. I don't like him. I don't like him. Now I don't like him. First I was biased because I didn't have nothing to not like him for. I had no reason to not like him or Tasha. But as watching this show, I stopped liking Tasha. And I was still on the fence about Rocky until this episode. So yeah, it ain't like I was jumping on the bandwagon and not liking this couple because nobody else did. No. I have my own reasons for not liking this couple after watching this season play out. So like I said, everybody's on their way to rehearsal. SWV, they all in the car together. Escape, they ride together, but, of course, Tasha's not there. Tasha in her car. I want to get to that. I ain't even going to say too much yet. She in her damn car. She in her own ride. So, they show an unreleased clip of Tamika saying that she'll try to reach out to Tasha again because they still sisters. And Tiny says, what the fuck? Yeah, I guess so. An unreleased clip of them saying that she gonna try to reach out to Tasha but at the end of the day they still sisters. This, that, and the third. And Tiny was like, well, at least wait till after the show because you don't want her in a bad mood and then she don't want to perform type stuff. Yeah, so they had that little unreleased scene that they showed. And then it's back on the bus ride. SWV, they basically talking about how, like, in their confessionals, Lily Coco talking about how the show not completely ready. They don't know how things going to play out. They just hope that things play out well because the show, some of the stuff ain't really the way they wanted it to be. So then I think it's the day of the show rehearsal. For a minute, I was thinking, like, is Todd not going to show up? Because they showed a little clip of her saying that her stomach wasn't feeling well. She was eating Tums and stuff. So for a minute, I was like, oh, is we not going to have Taj? That's going to be crazy. But then I had to think about it. I was like, what's the day before? So she should still be good, even if she can't make it to rehearsal or something. Tamika and her husband Got chicken and waffles. Just showing everything they doing leading up to the show rehearsal. I don't know what stuff is necessary, what's not. So then they get the scene with Rocky and Tasha again. They had a lot of scenes this episode, and I was just not for it. For it to be the finale, I was like, we don't need all this. But for Tasha to say she don't like the drama, like she's mostly in the drama. That's why we have so many scenes with her and Rocky this episode. So they sit down outside. They start talking about breakfast. And I said they start talking about breakfast. They start eating breakfast. They start talking about like basically all the accusations and stuff. Rocky was like, after the accusations and the betrayal, I ain't got time for it and all this. Then they go to confessional saying the producers asking they say they don't even ask Rocky. They were just like, so at this point, Tamika and the group have accused you of stealing money, and the group has accused you of like getting kickback just in the third. He get to going and he was like, that's just not true. He was like, it's not true. He was like, first of all, they can't prove it. I was like, wow. You should say, first of all, receipts and actual facts and stuff and proof. That's what should have been after first of all. But you get the first of all, they can't prove it. Like what? So he said, first of all, they can't prove it. Then he was like, he starts to say he don't got a bank account, but then he was like, if you get a check from somebody else, you can't cash it into somebody else's bank account without forging or writing their name or something like that. He's like, but I don't know, because I don't know do stuff like that. And looking at Tasha, I was like, nigga, you sound like a whole lie. So then they back at the dinner table with Tasha and Rocky, and Tasha's like, well, I'm just gonna do what I gotta do for this show, and we're gonna see what happens after that, whatever. And Rocky was like, look, if you really, because she's still low key, like probably like 2%, 3% on the fence. And Rocky like, look, if you want to end it, just make your peace with it, because you know he want to end it. He don't want to deal with him no more. But you making money off of them, you getting these kickbacks. So they had the show rehearsal. They got, I think one of them said they got like 8 hours to prepare for the show. So on the ride, so everybody's at show rehearsal except for Tasha. So on the ride there, Tasha's in the car with her peoples or whatever. And I don't remember everything she said, but what stuck out to me, she talking about, she very committed to her craft. And I'm like, how, when you the last one there? She was the last one to show up to show rehearsal. She didn't show up to the rehearsal before sound check. So I was just like, how committed to your craft are you? You committed to your solo craft. That's what you should have meant. That's what you meant to say. So she said, I'm really committed to my craft. So she show up super late. She got like 8 to 10 people with her. And I'm just like, why you need this many people? Like, that's crazy. I'm like, Candy probably the most successful one out of their group, and she don't even run with that many people. She got like probably like 2 or 3 people with her. Probably not even that. She probably got like Todd and Don Juan. And if Don Juan can't make it, then it's probably somebody else. But Candy only had that many people, and Candy the most successful one in the group. Let's be honest. So she showed up with like 8 to 10 people. And then Tamika was like, man, I don't know who Tasha is anymore. She done changed. She rolling with this whole entourage that she probably don't even know most of these people. She was like, this Rocky people. She was like Rocky, those Rocky people. And say like Rocky's in control, which we see. Like, so it's like, yeah, we know. Tamika ain't gotta tell us nothing new. So as like Tasha walks in or whatever, so we see Tamika's little perspective. My sister done changed. Whole entourage, that's Rocky people. Just done the third. So then we get Lily's perspective. She in her confessional talking about something. OMG, Diana Ross has arrived. She has made it, ladies and gentlemen. Like basically saying like she's so big shot. I think in that moment did Candy say something? No, not at that moment. So they start rehearsing or whatever. Escape having a lot of like difficulties with the staging process, the choreographer going off on them, just that and the third. Whole lot of mess. SWV, they seem to be rehearsing smooth. Like they seem to be like in sync, getting it done. And like apparently like Escape is like probably like going longer than they supposed to be, like probably doing full verses when they supposed to be like doing the parts of the song that transitions into another song. So even Coco was like, I thought we was just doing transitions. And she said that to Taj. Taj was like, yeah, I thought so too. So SWV, we can see they getting annoyed with Escape. So then Candy, it was a moment where Candy was like, is there gonna be a moment where we all come on stage and talk, sing, something like that? And Taj was like, I don't know. Like, we ain't even got past the second song yet. Because, you know, SWV obviously is annoyed with Escape and talking about Escape is not, Escape is just taking too long. I guess singing full song, whatever. So that was like a little dig. And Candy got quiet and her face Candy's face looked like she was irritated too. But it was like, I don't know. In the moment, who was wrong, I don't know. So then Steven suggests the Escape creative director, whatever his name is. Steven, I think his name's Steven. He was like, how about SWV come out and sing Is My Living in Vain with Escape? How about they come out and sing Escape's Is My Living in Vain together? So that's when SWV, they kind of like back a little bit behind the stage setup, and Lily asked Coco, she's like, you want to sing Is My Living in Vain? And Coco's like, no. And Taj was like, yeah, let's just sing that. Let's just go up there. Because Taj, one thing about Taj doing this show rehearsal, she's trying to get this show moved along. This is my first time seeing Taj like get like real aggressive with stuff. Like Taj seemed in the beginning of this season, she seemed like the happy one that was so neutral, got everybody together. She seemed so uplifting, all that. This episode, she was not playing with them. She was like, we got to, the way she snapped on Candy, like, I can't tell, we only got past 2 songs. Taj wasn't playing this episode. So she was like, let's just sing that song. Let's just sing that song with them. So they agree. So they go up. SWV, they goes up. And they like on the upper part behind Escape. And they was like, let's just stay right here. Escape be down right there. And we'll all be on the stage and synced up, and this is what SWV is saying. The choreographer dude, he's like, no, it'll be more cohesive if y'all all on the same level down here. So they was like, let's just go down here. Taj was like, let's just go down here because I'm trying to get this bullshit over with. And Coco, as they coming down the steps. Yeah, so as they coming down the steps, Coco started complaining. She talking about, I ain't singing shit. She started going, oh, she's like, I ain't singing shit. She was like, y'all know we don't sing no gospel music. Y'all knew that from jump. She was just going off. Escape ain't saying nothing. They just standing there quiet. Where am I? Yeah, she was like, we don't do no church in our set. That's what Coco said. We don't do no church in our set. She was like, look, I done ran out of my meds. I'm just ready to fight at this point. Because we know she got bipolar. So she like, I ran out of my meds. I'm just ready to fight at this point. And then Lily trying to calm her down. She's like, just chill out. And Coco like, it's just not making no sense. Like, nobody listening. And we up here, what'd she say? Lily was like, just take it easy. And she was like, I ain't taking nothing easy. Like, we letting them walk all over us. It's in the third. So Coco saying all this, Escape still not saying nothing. They just standing there quiet. Then Coco looked at Lily and was like, y'all really from New York? Like y'all just letting this stand? Like, we just going like that? I was just like, man. I was like, Coco's real loud tripping right now. That's what made me see Coco in a different light. Like, Coco a whole diva out here. I was like, and not in a good way. Like, that's too diva. I was like, what was going on? I don't know. Maybe it was some scenes that maybe Coco was in her right to feel the way she felt. But from what I was seeing watching the show, I was just like, Coco kind of doing too much. So then Taj, she says, she makes some suggestion about, I think she repeated the suggestion about them going back and being in the upper back or something like that. And Don Juan yells, that's corny. So Taj was like, who said that? Who said that's corny? And I think Don Juan said me, or somebody said Don Juan. And then Taj was like, well, Don Juan, I'm just trying to make this cohesive and this, that, and the third and all that. And Don was like, I 200% agree. And this then and Tosh was like, well, shut the fuck up then. That's what Coco, they go to Coco. Coco was telling Lily, see, they be thinking I'm the one that be going on. It's not me. Talk about Tosh. I said, oh my God. So I got to see more of like how SWV be going off. Cause this whole season we really just been seeing the tips with Escape, and we be seeing the Light Lord. I started seeing SWV's real size when they started getting into it about the headliner situation. So I'm starting to see SWV where they are now. Like I ain't never seen Tosh like that. Or Coco. But I ain't never seen them on TV before, like being in a reality show. So on the way to the show, Candy tells Tamika, oh yeah, it's probably gonna be the last time the four of us perform together in a long time. Because apparently Tasha got her little gospel solo deal. So it's gonna be the last time they perform together as a foursome in a while, probably. She tell her that. So they get to the dressing room. Candy and Tamika got their dressing room. SWV got a whole dressing room together. And Tiny and Tasha sharing the dressing room. So Candy and Tamika, they in the dressing room, and Candy asking Tamika, has she spoken to Tasha since the show rehearsal? Tamika was like, nope. She was like, I'm debating if I want to talk to her before the show or after the show. She was like, she's just gonna see what's gonna happen. Candy in her confessional, like, that Tamika's super upset with Tasha, and she just hoped that their conversation don't like go to blows instead of like just having a verbal disagreement. So Tamika was like, man, I'm scared to talk to her before the show because she might get mad and not want to perform, just like what Tiny said in that unreleased scene they showed earlier in the episode. So I was like, yeah, they all agreed that talking to her before the show is a no-no. So don't do it. Yeah, even Candy was like, don't do that then. So they all agreeing, don't do that. So then they show this confessional scene of Tamika's where she's in her I would say she's in her confessional. They show this scene of Tamika in her confessional saying that she the sister side of her feels like she should have brought that evidence or whatever to Tasha by herself and not with the group members. But she said, but the business side like of her knew that it was wrong. So that made me think, like, so did Tamika get this evidence and like brought it to the rest of the group brought it to Tamika and brought it to Candy and Tiny, and then they all came to Tasha? I thought like Candy had got this info and like brought it to Tamika and Tiny, and then they brought it to Tasha. But it made me wonder, like, did Tamika have this info from jump? So of course, Tasha's the last one to the show. Did they have show? They had a show now. Yeah, they was on their way to the show. Yeah. So of course Tasha's the last one to arrive to the show. She always late for some reason. No, it ain't for some reason, because she got like 8 to 10 people with her. So she arrives to this show, and like, I'm telling you, like, I should have counted, but it was like 8 to 10 people that got out that van before she did. One of them was Rocky, of course. But I was just like, damn, like, why you need that many people? That's so much more. I don't even understand it. I really don't. So they walk up in there hella deep. Tasha get this dry ass high to Candy and Tamika. Candy was like, what the fuck do all them people even do? Tasha was like, Tamika was like, I don't even know, child. So then they go to confessional saying to Tasha, she talking about, that's my team. Like, she names makeup artist, videographer, assistant, chef. I said chief. I wrote CHEF and still said chief. What the fuck? But she said assistant, chef, stylist. I was like, these people don't need to be with you 24/7. Some of these people don't need to be with you 24/7. I know that. 24/7, no. Tasha was like, Tamika was like, Tasha's assistants have an assistant. I said, bruh. So that's when Candy, she in her confessional saying what we already know. Like, she was like, Tasha tries to portray this big image like she's the best, this, that, and the third. But in the end of the day, we don't really care. It's like this. We all know this. So Candy just says it in her confessional. So this is the part that made me totally turn off from Rocky. Rocky comes up to Tasha and was like trying to give her compliments. You know, we're doing what a husband's supposed to do. Like, you look good, this, that, and the third. Eyes looking up, I'm down, body, whatever. But then he says, what you think they gonna call you today? Tina Turner? And I'm just like, this is the second time on this season that he has referred to them as like Ike and Tina. Like, cause that scene in the studio when she was in the studio with what was she? She was in the studio recording or something. He came in there and was like, called her anime or something. Made some anime reference. And I was like, this is the second time that he didn't refer to. So it's like you basically letting the world know that you got some type of control over her, even if it's not physical. So I'm just like, that's what completely turned me off of Rocky. Because I was still on the fence because I didn't know nothing about him. But that right there was like, yeah, I was done. I was done after that. She was like, I don't care what they call me. Tina was in her prime. And I was just like, she's like, I hope they're ready for me. No, she was like, I hope they're ready because I'm ready. I was just like, man, stop this mess. Then they flash back to Tamika and Candy talking in the dressing room. Tamika calls Rocky Edwards stealing pants. I thought that was funny. Candy was like, you gonna steal up all your money. I said they had some little funny little stuff this episode. This episode had some little funny moments. Some funny stuff that made me laugh. Then Tamika was like, since the accusations have started and stuff, Rocky ain't really been around. They both was like, well, hey, I'm fine with that. They both was like, we cool with that. Shoot. And like, why would they? They probably ain't been feeling them from jump. Like they said earlier in the season, Candy was saying something when they was at a rehearsal or a meeting or something. She was like, management ain't really been doing what they supposed to been doing. So it's just like, yeah, get rid of them. So the show starts, a packed house. People start to show up. They showing the fans, this, that, and the third. I ain't really talk too much about the performance. It ain't like I can go scene for scene for that. I'm just going to be like, yeah. SWV, they came out first with anything. Then Escape, they came out with Love on My Mind. Show goes. Then Escape does Who Can I Run To? Then SWV, they come back with You're the One. And then both groups come out and perform Is My Living in Vain. And then SWV, they perform Weak. Tore the house down. Coco made sure the whole group sang the bridge part. I mean, not the whole group. Coco made sure the whole crowd sang like the bridge part. After she was done, she was like, you should have let us do Weak last. I was like, oh, Lord. I was like, yeah, should have let them do Weak last. Because they fucked that joint up. And then SWV came out and they did Understanding. And I do love Understanding, don't get me wrong. I love that song. Like, everybody vocals is in that song. And everybody vocals in that song super strong. And I love that part of the song where Candy hit that super high note like that. That don't be super. She be killing them with that. Even in that moment, Tamika run over and like smack her butt like, yes, girl, you just hit that note like, yes. So Tasha, I don't know if Tasha notices that or not, but in that moment, they show like a confessional scene of Tasha talking about, usually when we're singing and stuff, I usually get some type of encouragement from my sister, like a pat on the butt or back or something, say, yes, girl, you better sing or this, that, and third. But I didn't get none of that this performance, but that's okay though. So I was just like, oh gosh, Tasha got a problem with everything. I was just like, Tasha just, it's annoying sometimes. Why you got to get that? You know you're a good singer. Why you need that? You need that acknowledgement? Why? People been dragging Candy for her voice. Why not let Tamika give her that commodity on the stage and stuff? But whatever. So they get backstage. They embracing and stuff. Hugging. Talking about they all did amazing. The show was great. This, that, and the third. They did their thing. So then Taj asks, was it all worth it? It's like a little brief silence. But then they all like, yeah, it was all worth it. Some people ain't even say it was all worth it. Like Tasha, maybe Coco, I don't know. So then Taj was like, would you do it again? So then mostly everybody said yes, except for like Coco and Tasha. So Candy said yeah, and that surprised Coco for something. She was like, what? So then they go to confessional scene with Candy. Candy was like, look, we pulled this together in a short amount of time. Like, I'm pretty sure if we was to do this again, we had more time and better communication, this, that, and third, like the show would be like super, it would be bomb. Like, and of course it would. Shoot. Put the little pettiness stuff to the side, definitely. So after the show, Tamika pulls Tasha out of her little room of entourage. Right, let me talk to you for a minute alone in her dressing room. So they go to Tamika and Tiny's dressing room. I mean Tamika and Candy's dressing room. Candy's not there though. It's just them two. Tasha and Tamika. Tasha's already like, this ain't the time to talk. Tamika like, yes it is the time to talk. So they already like not trying to have this Tasha already not trying to have this conversation. So when we get this confessional scene, Tamika's like, well, although the show went good, things with me and my sister are still bad, so I want to have this chance to sit down and talk to her. Of course, that's what we about to see. So then they show another. Well, then again in her confessional, she was like, she don't want no apology, no acknowledgement from Tasha. She just wants that sisterly love. Like, she just wanted them to get back to a nice space where they could be like they could be sisters again. Sisterly love. That's what she said. She had a sisterly love. So then Tamika says to Tasha, I'm just trying to figure out like where we at, because I know after we leave here, like it's gonna be dead silence and nobody gonna be speaking to nobody. So I'm trying to figure out. So then Tasha was just like, I'm just not with the negativity. It's just too much chaos, this, that, and third. And Tamika's like what that mean? What you mean? There's too much chaos from who in? Like basically. Oh, excuse me. So Tasha was like, she don't like the whole pointing the finger situation. Oh, excuse me. People pointing the fingers and stuff like that. Tamika was like, well, who pointing the fingers and stuff? And no, Tamika was like, I'm not talking about the group. And Tasha get the well, you my sister. So that's when Tamika was like, it don't feel like it. Don't feel like my sister. Then Tasha get the who made it that way? Who made it feel like we not sisters? Tamika was like, you did. You the one that made it feel like we not sisters. She's like, you don't understand the energy that you give off. She's like, your team come in, they walk right past me, they don't speak to me, this, that, and the third. Like, you give off bad energy. So Tasha was like, what else do you want me to do? Because Tasha always trying to fake get to a solution, but that's not getting to a solution because you just want somebody to blame. It's just she's like, what you want me to do? Tamika's like, just be yourself. Just be yourself and stop letting Rocky run your life. And she's like, this is me. Like, I don't know how else to be. Like, this me. This is me all the way. And Tamika like, that's you for real? And Tasha's like, yep, this is me. Then Tasha in her confessional talking about something. I just wish Tamika would just tell the truth and stop lying to herself and be honest, talking about some if you feel like Rocky takes me away from you and you getting jealous and you miss that sisterly bond and he taking too much of my time, just say that. I'm just like, oh my God, this girl is Delulu. Delulu to the Lulu. She delusional as hell. I was just like, oh my God, your sister is just trying to talk to you. Like, so Tamika was like, so we just gonna be working together. And Tasha was like, yep, we just gonna work, like have a work relationship, no sisterly bond. So I was like, yeah, because you just keep pointing the finger at me. And Tamika was like, who's pointing the finger? Tasha was like, well, you can turn the mirror on yourself and look at yourself and all that and stop pointing. And Tamika was like, I look at myself every day, sweetheart. Sweetheart. She didn't say sweetheart, but she was like, I look at myself every day. Tasha get mad. She gets to walking towards the door, leaving out. Tamika was like, why you leaving? What you doing? Like, so where does this leave us as sisters? She's like, where does this leave us as sisters? And Tasha get the point at the cameras, talking about something. This where it leaves us. That's where it leaves us at the cameras and stuff. So Tamika was like, okay, so we not sisters no more. And Tamika, by this point, Tasha's out in the hall walking back to her dressing room. She's like, we not sisters no more. And she was like, your 13 little entourage is your family now. And Tasha was like, yep, that's my family. And they treat me better than you. And this, that, and third. And Tamika was like, okay, okay. Tasha talking about in her confession, talking about something. I can't believe we used to be so little playing, singing on hairbrushes, talking about we gonna make it, and look at us now. I was like, girl, you made it this way. It's like, stop being the. I'm just tired of her being the victim. I'm just playing the victim. She's just playing the victim too much. It's annoying. So Tamika was like, those 18 people leeching off you. What she say? Tamika was like, those 18 people leeching off you, they can have her. They can have her. She's like, if she don't want to be a part of the group, I'm not about to beg her to be my sister, this, that, and the third. Like, it is what it is at this point. She's saying all this. Candy done came in the dressing room by now. Like, a couple of people, cameras, whatever. And by this point, Tasha back in her dressing room. They doors are, like, still open. So if they yell loud enough, they could probably still hear each other. So Tamika in her confession was super emotional. She's like, it's not about the money. It's not about escape. It's like about me and my sister. It's about family. Like, I love my sister to death. All that, this, that, and the third. So Candy, she sees Tamika feeling away. She gives her a hug. She's like, I love you. I love you like a sister. Tamika's getting emotional. And then Tasha saying the same thing in her confessional, but it's just like, I don't buy the bullshit. I'm sorry. She in her confessional saying, I'll always love my sister. I will always love my sister, but until the way we can salvage things is by having we got to have a real sit down, have a real heart to heart, and it got to be real, this, then, and third. I'm just like, girl, okay. Maybe, since the camera's going to be off now, maybe. But maybe not, because we see later on what was about to come up. Yeah, Tamika's super emotional. Candy's just hugging her, telling her, like, sometimes sisters disagree. It'll take time. Like, basically, they just need to regroup and they be okay. Just basically telling them they be all right. And then Tamika, it ends with Tamika, like, in her confessional saying, it'll be okay. My toe itched. My bad. I got all close up in the camera. You got games on your phone? But yeah, Tamika was like, only time will tell. So then they give these little group updates, which I thought was funny. I mean, I guess with a show like this, it's like one little short, little sweet season. So it was like Tamika and Tasha still haven't spoken since the show, since the performance. So apparently a heart-to-heart hasn't happened off camera. So we find that out. Then they tell us that Tasha's album just came out Friday on Good Friday. Just came out Friday, April 7th. So, okay. Who gonna go listen to it? Let me know how it sounds. Let me know in the comments, whatever. Then they flash back to SWV. They go in their dressing room. And the manager and their team and stuff is in there. They surprise them with these platinum plaques. Apparently, So Into You and Right Here have went platinum. And Week has went triple platinum. So they in there celebrating 30 years we've been in this. All that. So, like, kudos to SWV. They did the damn thing. Even if they didn't end the show with Week still was lit. So then they go back to the updates. SWV got a summer tour booked with Jodeci. Shoot. Maybe I'm about to get some tickets for that. I'm with that. I love me some Jodeci and some SWV. That's lit. That's going to be lit. Summertime too? That's going to be lit. They was like, while the tour is still pending with Escape. I was like, yeah, we're not getting that. They just did what they had to do for this show money. For this TV show money. So, Escape, they touring right now without Tasha as a trio. And at the end of the show, like after the performance and stuff is over, we see the three of them, Tiny, Candies, to Tamika. They hugging, talking about it's the three of us now. We gotta do what we gotta do. We're gonna do this. We're gonna kill it. This, that, and the third. And then we all know, if you haven't known, if you didn't know, you didn't watch the 2022 Soul Train Awards, they won the Lady of Soul. I watched it, so I knew that. But yeah, they got the Lady of Soul Awards, 2022 Soul Train Awards. And then it was funny, they at the Soul Train Awards, when they got the award, they showed up and like everybody had on this like this sheer outfit dress and Tasha didn't. She had on like some gold number. And they was like Tasha didn't get the memo on the wardrobe. And I remember that being a thing. I remember that like going viral. I think it was on the Shade Room or something. But I remember saying something about that at the time that it happened. I ain't paying no attention to it until it got brung up somewhere I saw online. But yeah, that was a nice little show. I like I said, I graded episode. I mean, I graded this finale a A+, just because the camaraderie, black women from the '90s doing their thing. I gotta give it to them. So yeah, that's what I said. Grade A+ for this finale. I don't think we're gonna get no tour. I don't gotta get no predictions because this is the finale. That was my one prediction. I don't think we're gonna get no tour. We just saw about the tour is pending. SWV don't care. They about to tour with Joe to see. I'm probably about to get some tickets for that. Shoot. Maybe I gotta see Escape as a trio too. I never seen them as a foursome like live neither. So maybe no. I don't know. But yeah, I'm still gonna be jamming to both of their musics. This was a nice little season. I liked it. It showed me it showed me some people who they are. I already knew who Candy and Tiny was from watching Real Housewives of Atlanta, T.I. and Tiny Family Hustle. So I already knew the type of people what they was. But it took me in to meet Tamika, Tasha, Coco, Taj, and Lily. I had nothing. I had no idea about their lives and stuff. So it brought me into their life. I like that. Got to let me know the women behind the R&B, and I appreciated that. That was a nice little show. So kudos to whoever put that together. Probably Candy. I don't know. But yeah, that time was lit. Thanks for watching these 6 weeks with me. And yeah, subscribe to my channel because I do review other shows. Hit that like button. Hit the notification bell so you can be alert to everything that I post when I post it. And yeah, comment below what you would grade the show. If I forgot anything, I was off on anything, how you would grade the episode. I think I just said that, but yeah, I'm high, whatever. What you think about the episode, this, that, and the third. Thanks for watching with me. Peace.